I have fond memories of spending about every waking moment as a kid during my summer vacations playing basketball at this gym I belonged to. Right, I could not wait to get out the door in the morning. Now, the rule in my home was, though, I had to be home for dinner, which was at 6 o'clock. Now, while my parents were pretty strict about this expectation, there was always a 5-minute buffer built in. So sure enough, I would leave the gym about 6:01 and pedal on my bike as fast as I could to be home like right at 6:05. Like, I loved playing basketball. Now, I had friends who would make fun of me for loving to play basketball so much. They would say things like, "You'd rather play basketball than have a girlfriend." And it didn't really bother me because rather than looking at it from a perspective of what I was missing out on, I was looking at what I was getting out of it. And in our passage today, we see a similar theme playing out, only instead of playing basketball, it is seeing sitting at Jesus' feet as so worthwhile that all other activities pale in comparison. So let's pick up in today's reading, Luke chapter 10, 38 through 42. And as Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken from her." For Mary, sitting at Jesus' feet was so worthwhile that other good activities, such as serving and hospitality, couldn't compare. Martha, on the other hand, seems a bit like my friends who would tease me about liking basketball more than girls. Right? She didn't seem to get the full weight of the worth that Mary put on just being with Jesus as opposed to doing for Jesus. Now, if you were anything like me, perhaps you struggle with defining success in your life as seeing it as something tangible that you can see, that you can check off your list at the end of the day, something that you can point to as proof that you have been productive. Now, don't get me wrong, productivity and efficiency are necessary, but Jesus says what is more necessary is what Mary chooses. When our productivity and our efficiency flow out of sitting at Jesus' feet, that is life-giving. But the type of productivity which flows out of our own fleshly efforts is life-depleting. See, the union we have with Christ differs from the communion we have with Christ. The union we have is a one-time act where we are united with him, and that is secure. However, the communion we have with Christ ebbs and flows much in the same way it does in a marriage or a relationship. I can be in proximity with my wife without having close communion with her. After a while, that takes a toll on any relationship. And it's the same with our communion with Jesus. So let me leave you with this question. What adjustments, if any, do you need to make to have uninterrupted communion with Jesus?